Get situated. Sit your ass down. Sorry, I had to talk to myself for a second. Anyway. Okay. Welcome back to episode 81 of the Macbeef-Banquet podcast. Miles is wearing a Snoopy shirt.
That has nothing to do with anything, Henry.
Yeah, but I just felt I should make an observation.
Henry is wearing white socks, blue jeans,
Actually, the white and red
a
socks.
black shirt, black jacket.
It's a white shirt.
A white shirt.
Can you even see? Do you even have
a
the
black
vision?
mask.
We watched the last episode of
He's
WandaVision.
gay as hell.
So I was just sitting here, barbecue sauce on my nuggies. Yeah. So we watched WandaVision this week.
Mm-hmm.
We also watched the first 2 episodes of season 2 of The Boys.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching some more of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't think I've mentioned that, but I've been watching that. I just got to the episode where they're trying out for the Philadelphia Eagles, and then Charlie and Danny DeVito, whatever his name is, Frank. They're tripping on acid.
Yeah.
And they see like what's her name, Artemis, in like the toilet.
Yeah. I gotta rewatch that show. It's good.
It's pretty funny. The first season was okay, but I mean that's I think usually the case with
and
any
also
show.
Danny DeVito hadn't joined yet.
Yeah.
So,
And so after that,
I think
season
part
2
of
was
it
really,
was
got
Frank.
really funny.
I think Charlie Day.
Charlie, yeah.
I think he's one of my favorites. Just
He does
because.
great.
Yeah. But the movie, the whole point of this episode
Anyway, yeah,
is the movie House.
We watched House this week. What did you think of House? 77.
Yeah.
Or 6. 7.
77. Just call it that. I liked it. It was weird. It was definitely weird.
I like some of the music. I like especially the ending song.
The music,
the last song.
The music was really good. The soundtrack was really good.
Yeah.
The
first half, I think I liked a little bit more than the second half.
Yeah.
After a while, it kind of got a little
too much, maybe.
It just got a little too hectic, I think.
It maybe not the second half, but I think more like the third act.
Or the third act. Yeah, that'd be a good.
The first and second act were pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Just because you could really tell, especially with the first act, with them, the whole journey of, from the beginning all the way up to like them starting out in the house. You can really tell like the cinematography, a lot of the shots are really good.
Yeah, even the first shot,
the
like
editing,
with
all
the camera
that.
when she's taking a picture of her friend,
That
gorgeous.
was cool.
With the low lighting and then that weird transition thing in the classroom there.
Yeah,
that was really cool. And and then we were kind of talking about it. Kind of, there was the guy who I think he sat on a bucket or something.
Oh yeah,
and that was kind of funny.
Mr.
And,
Togo, I think.
It was Mr. Togo. Yeah. And so there was definitely a level of charm to it, I think. And I don't know if maybe that wore off, or if maybe there's the third act was just a little too much. I don't know. But for some reason, I guess I just didn't identify with it as much.
Yeah, I think part of it was for me it got a little bit too confusing what was happening sometimes.
Yeah.
It was still good. I really liked it overall.
Yeah. It was a very fun movie.
Yeah, it was.
I think.
It was funny at parts, and I'm pretty sure they meant for it to be.
Yeah.
Funny, at least a little bit.
And, just sort of a wacky kind of horror feature.
Horror film.
Yeah.
And it was. There was definitely parts where I was kind of confused what was happening.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, some of the shots were pretty great, especially earlier on. I think there was some fun stuff.
Yeah.
And even some of the stuff with the aunt, I think, as she was kind of doing some weird stuff.
Oh yeah.
Some of that was kind of fun.
And some of the effects were really cool.
Yeah, there were definitely
especially
some that
for
worked
the
well.
time, 77. Yeah. What came out in the year 77? I'm trying to think of
Star Wars.
Okay, so effects, were still relatively.
Yeah, that was when Lucas was creating some of that stuff to make those effects.
Films.
And even then, I think there's definitely been sort of remastered versions since then of that. So really, I think we have the VHS
Close Encounters
of Close Encounters too.
Year.
Yeah, because that was the thing. They were I think it was Lucas and Spielberg were betting on whose would do better. I think they bet on each other's. Spielberg bet that Star Wars would do better, and then Lucas bet that Close Encounters would do better. And I think obviously Star Wars was a little bit more popular.
Pete's Dragon also came out that year.
Pete's Dragon, okay.
So that's another heavy
effects were starting to get developed, I think, but they were still kind of in their early stages. Because what I was gonna say too is I have I think an older copy of like one of the VHS tapes of Star Wars, at least like A New Hope, and like the lightsaber.
Like the original?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's like the original. I think it is. It might be because it's like the lightsabers.
I might have to see that because
the lightsabers are like white.
Yeah, I'd have to see that
before.
because fucking George Lucas. What was someone was talking about it. It was like, it was Rambling Gen Xer.
Yeah,
I was talking about because I've heard that before, that like he had remastered all the originals, and it's so hard to find the
like,
original.
more like,
original.
Yeah, the untouched versions. Because
and I wanted to see them because for me I don't know if it was called a purist or whatever, but I'm more of the mind that I like when something's been untouched, and it's just better because you made it with the intentions the first time. Why mess with it?
Exactly. Yeah, because like once you put it out there, you can't take it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no putting there's no putting the toothpaste back in the tube. Like.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can touch it up and
which he
put
did.
your director's commentaries, I guess, but like at the same time, like you said, yeah, like people have such an occult following for that too, especially like the purists or whatever. And it's kind of cool to see like what they made at the time,
Yeah, yeah.
And then you should be able to just kind of build on that.
And it's
with
like
your next project.
It's art in itself in that.
Right. It's like the imperfections are what makes it great.
Exactly.
So it's kind of,
I mean, that's why I fucking like bad movies sometimes, because they're good and I don't want anyone to change them or anything.
Definitely. No. Yeah.
They're
absolutely.
good that way.
Because it's like a symbol of the time and stuff. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, back to House.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some of the effects are very fun for the time. Yeah. They definitely weren't afraid to experiment, I think, with it a little bit.
Yeah.
The characters were kind of cool. I liked how they all had like their different nicknames based on like their
very
like, cartoonish like
very
traits.
Japanese. I would say.
Yeah. Definitely. I loved when Mr. Togo turned into a bunch of bananas at the end. That was pretty funny.
Because he's like, I like bananas. I don't want a watermelon. I like bananas.
Yeah. And then, but yeah. Yeah, obviously then there were some, I know we talked about, like, for example, a couple of, like, the green screen effects that maybe weren't so good. But again, it was, of the time. So. The backdrop thing was really cool when they stopped. And then there was that wide shot, and then they cut to the backdrop. Was kind of cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, because it's, like, a nice mix of, like, stuff where they just tried it, and it didn't work, and then stuff where they knew that it would kind of be kind of cheesy, so they kind of owned up to it, which is kind of cool.
And a lot of I think almost all of the sky was fake, but it looked really good.
Yeah.
There was like, one part where we saw like the cloud getting zoomed in or out.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Or it was moving. And,
yeah. It was moving at a weird angle. I think. But for most of it, the sky was really beautiful. And I think that really added to it, honestly.
Yeah. It's like, it makes you think of like Evil Dead, or like Evil Dead 2 more specifically. Where it's kind of got like those sort of just cheesy effects, but like it works.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's just kind of fun.
And Evil Dead was made in the 80s, I think?
I think something like that.
Okay, so...
Not long after.
Yeah.
Probably.
I wonder if Evil Dead 2 got inspiration from House.
That probably did.
Because...
I would imagine.
I mean, Evil Dead, the first one was, obviously made to be more of a horror film, a regular one.
Right.
And House, I don't know. They're very similar in the way that they... So maybe...
So yeah, it's possible. And definitely pulled at least a little influence from it, I'm sure. But yeah, no, I would recommend it. It was very fun.
Yeah.
I don't even think you really have to be a movie like lover or cinephile,
a film buff or whatever.
Yeah, to really enjoy it.
Yeah, but if you are, it'll make you enjoy it better because a lot of the shots are really good.
Yeah, definitely can appreciate it more. So, yeah.
Especially if you like Evil Dead 2.
Yeah. Exactly.
So back to what other stuff we watched this week.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of mentioned the main stuff that I watched. Philadelphia.
You watched
I was
Philadelphia?
watching the city of Philadelphia, watching the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then
the boys.
And
it was a good start to the season so far.
Yeah, I liked it.
The first two episodes.
It's kind of cool because it's like, I don't know, the last episode of last season was kind of like, you could just kind of feel like it was like
it felt
it was kind of gonna be kind of tough for them a little bit, and it's kind of cool because it's like
they kind of ignored that for a second.
Yeah, it's like they're trucking on, and so it's not as like devastating as I thought it was gonna be. I mean, the first episode obviously they have like their My dad was like, "No, it's not." 'Cause it's Dirty Dancing. But anyway, yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. Because like the first episode they're kind of are hunkering down and they're like, we don't have anyone to lead us or anything. So there's that. But like, yeah, it's kind of cool because they're not like they didn't like write themselves into like a little corner where like butcher's back and stuff. And
yeah,
it was kind of cool how that kind of changes. I think it's working so far from a writing standpoint.
And then WandaVision, the last episode.
This is supposed final episode of the season.
It's called the series finale.
We don't know. Or yeah, the series, right? Yeah, it's the
series finale.
Yeah, not the season. There's not another season.
No.
What do you think of the series as a whole?
As a whole,
did you like it? Did you hate it?
I don't know. I think personally, it would have worked better as like a binge watch show. I don't think it works well as like a weekly,
like an episodic.
Like Mandalorian works very well as an episodic. Like it comes out once every week and you watch it.
Yeah, and it's like
that works well.
Each one sometimes is almost like there's rarely like a multi-episode like arc within that show as much. And yeah, I think you had mentioned too. They kind of the pacing was a little slow in parts.
Definitely.
So, and then because it's a more cohesive story overall, it's kind of trickier.
And for the first few episodes, they're kind of episodic. They're not really
because they're going through like the shows and then but I especially felt with like the later episodes, it was a little more difficult.
Yeah. So I think maybe it deserves a rewatch, but as you watch it more as like all in one go almost.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it for the most part. I thought it was fun. I guess
definitely
interesting. Like I said, the first half was really cool. I think because of the different shows we saw.
Those were cool.
The wacky concept of the show in general. Trying to figure out what it is and sort of piecing it together. And the music was great, and all like the little nostalgia hints were great. So, I think I liked it, but I definitely think a rewatch would be good to see how it holds up. But
yeah.
Either way, what else did you watch? Did you finish My Hero?
Yes, I finished My Hero, which was really good.
You finished your hero off?
Yeah, I finished My Hero. Oh God, this is my dick's
Snoopy?
what I call my
Snoopy's
hero.
Your hero?
No, my dick's what I call my hero. It's a good show. I would definitely recommend it to you.
You also recommended One Punch Man, right?
Yeah.
Have you been watching that, or have you already seen it?
Let's see. Well, after My Hero, I watched High Rise Invasion.
Okay.
Which was a new Netflix anime.
For sure.
It was odd, to say the least. It's pretty easy watch. It was only like 12 episodes. And it's like they get this teenage girl gets transported into another world, quote unquote, where it's just you're on like skyscrapers essentially, and you have to move between them, and there's these people with like masks.
Okay.
And they're trying to kill you, or they're trying to get you to commit suicide.
So
it's a gory show. Not too gory, but it's got blood and stuff. It's an interesting show. I don't know if it's like great, but I don't know. It was an easy watch, so that's why I was like, I'll just watch this.
Yeah.
And then I started and finished One Punch Man, which was a really good show. First time I watched it. Definitely recommend that to you specifically, but to anyone else, it's definitely worth
especially
trying.
an anime fan. Yeah.
Yeah. Even if you're not though, like it's pretty good.
Pretty funny. Yeah, and pretty good for sure. I'll have to check it out then. Maybe I'll finish the show in one punch, man. Anyway. Yeah. What else did you watch? Anything else, or?
I don't think I watched any movies. No, I've been kind of just focusing on anime, I guess. I'll go through the phases for like I'll watch anime for a good long while, and then a month will go by, and I'll be like, maybe I should just stop for now.
Yeah,
because I did that. I think in the summer of 2020, I think for a month I watched a whole bunch of anime, and then I just stopped. Because I get, like, post-anime depression or whatever.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like stuff doesn't feel summed up very well. Or
yeah.
Because a lot of anime just ends. And nothing gets resolved.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can see that a little bit. Cowboy Bebop kind of did, but kind of didn't.
Well, they also had a movie, but I haven't seen the movie yet. So.
Yeah, and that takes place between 23 and episode like 22 and 23 or something like that.
Mm.
But yeah, when I watched that, that kind of felt that a little bit.
Unresolved.
Evangelion was kind of like that. It was very open ended with some of like the themes that they talk about. That show kind of gets a little heavier though into like the philosophical and like what
that's
the hell.
That's why I'm like I'm like I want to try it, but I don't know if I'm gonna stick with it if I do try it.
Yeah, that's fair. I would to see what the whole experience is because I think there is like a point that I don't know. It's kind of weird because it's like I think in like the later episodes the creator was kind of going through some stuff, and so there are points where he makes certain artistic choices that I think, and I've like watched videos on it too because as I tried to like understand it and like they were talking about like how he kind of makes choices that do seem a little like they were like the production like budget was cut or something, but it wasn't. I think it was just like his way of seeing things like because there's like a point where like they use like the same like practically a still image while they're in an elevator for like a minute, and so it's like a long take, and they're like, were they just saving time or something? And then there's like one where it's like more like crude drawings and stuff like that. So like, it kind of sometimes I guess it does feel like I don't know, like they're trying to be experimental, I guess, or like out there with the ideas. But it's pretty good though, I think, to at least explore like the kind of like the general like idea of like good and bad and people and stuff, and there are some good moments in it. So I definitely think I'm glad I waited to watch it till I was older
to understand it a bit better.
Yeah, my buddy watched it in high school, and I don't know how he's like still like has a strong mental state because like apparently it's pretty wacky. So
there was sorry, I was just gonna say there was one show I was interested, one anime I was gonna probably start watching next. It's called Demon Slayer.
Yeah, I've seen
Kimetsu no Yaiba
stuff. Yeah,
it looks really good. So I was like,
yeah,
I want to try it.
Cool. There's so much anime I want to get into, but I haven't taken the time to because I've been trying to catch up on like a lot of movies and watch more movies.
Yeah, and I've also been sticking to like the shorter animes. Like I wanted to get into like One Piece or
some of like the longer stuff.
Or what is it called? One Piece or I don't know the name of it. But they're just too long for me to get into because it's like I know I'm just gonna like binge watch it and it'll take fucking forever.
Yeah.
To get through it. Because My Hero took me about a week, and that's 4 seasons, and they're each about 26 episode seasons. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I try to stick to shorter ones.
Yeah, it's probably better because I mean it can be a little more tricky too to tell a good story with longer stuff too sometimes. I mean it's definitely possible. But it can be tricky. But yeah, was there anything else you wanted to watch or have been watching?
No. I've been thinking about rewatching Avatar. Last Airbender because I've seen it so many times. But Connor's never seen it, and I want to try and get her into it because
it's definitely a great show.
Yeah,
I have grown up on especially. Because I just I rewatched it a little bit with my siblings. Because Megan hadn't seen it, and so we decided to check it out, and it definitely holds up even from a writing standpoint, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
it's like one of those classic like shows where it also has like some.
It's almost it's almost timeless.
Yeah, like adult-ish kind of themes, but like it's still a kids show. And and then the great characters are great, and I feel like we don't need to talk about how great Avatar is because everyone already knows.
Yeah,
for the most part. Yeah, if you've seen it anyway. But
yeah, go ahead. What movie are we watching?
Oh no, sorry. Is there anything else or?
No, I don't have anything else.
For sure.
There's nothing else.
All right. Well, I was originally going to pick a different movie, but after my dad recommended it and my instructors recommended it, I think we should watch Judas and the Black Messiah.
Okay.
I figured, which is on HBO. Yeah, I was going to lean towards Hannah and Her Sisters because I want to watch that, but I figured we could maybe watch it on our own or wait another week to watch it. Probably, I'm fine with that. But yeah, Judas and the Black. I've heard great things about it, so from multiple people. And so I'm excited to check it out. Lakeith Stanfield is apparently pretty great in it, and it's got Jesse Plemons from I almost said What We Do in the Shadows from I'm Thinking of Ending Things.
When does it? It goes away on the 28th.
If I'm not mistaken.
The 14th.
Yeah. Okay. So we still got time.
Okay. That's what day is that?
So it's not this Sunday, but a week from Sunday is when it goes.
Okay.
When it leaves.
Okay.
So we still got time. Through next Friday.
Okay. So you better watch it.
Yeah, with us within this week.
Yeah.
Before it goes away, but yeah. So check that out.
I'm excited. Next week. I was like, didn't know if I wanted to watch it or not, and then I'm kind of glad you picked it because I probably wasn't gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
For sure. All right. Well, yeah. So watch that with us next week on HBO.
And, Max.
On
HBO Max.
On HBO Minimum. Yep. And we'll see you next week for an all new episode of
the Macbeef-Banquet podcast.
I hope that wasn't too blown out.
Bitch.